Welcome aboard, folks. As the title would suggest, this will be a first flight together with you of the DC-6 by PMDG. To those who are followers of the channel, I did share with you that, about 20 years ago, I used to fly an advanced flight simulator Boeing 737 aircraft. I didn't remember at that time who it was by, but it didn't take long for me to run into PMDG. They are, of course, a staple of the flight sim world, as they have been pumping out a very complicated, high-end, outstanding aircraft, and with both complexity and beauty over the decades. I mean, it's, obviously they've been in the business for a long time. And obviously, I'm just going to come out and say it. I applaud them for their insane job on the DC-6 aircraft. I mean, to those of you who are a little bit technically inclined, 4.6 gig. That's the size of this aircraft. 4.6. That's pretty outrageous. I'll do a little walkthrough with you over here really quickly, just for you to see what I am talking about. And it is absolutely stunning. The vibrations, the light reflections, the level of detail, otherworldly. Not something that I'm used to. I'm back into flight sim after a couple of decades away. Now, as a pilot for the Boeing 737 aircraft, I'm coming back in. But I did grow up with flight simulators, and I'm just overjoyed with the complexity and level of perfection and attention to detail from both the Asobo studios that developed the architecture, the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and of course PMDG for their insane level of dedication and trying to stay true to the complexity of the aircraft systems. So I'm going through literally the online courses that they have available for this aircraft. It is very complicated. Absolutely, it really is. And for me to be able to fly it manually without assistance will still take some time. That being said, I will be doing some cross countries with this aircraft. One in particular I'm very excited to attempt to do. Not exactly sure how, but stay tuned for that. So that'll be coming in the future. For today, we're going to be doing this flight with our friendly engineer. As true captains of back in the day, I'm just going to hang out and, just call the shots while I have fun flying. Get the first officer and the flight engineer to get everything situated for us. Taking off out of Orlando. I would very much like to fly from here, Orlando, to Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, the airport that I learned to fly out of. It would be wonderful to do that. And let me do this real quick here. Let's see if I can do it. I couldn't not do it on the previous time I was flying, but this time, what is it, 0? My joystick was not helping me. If you're dizzy right now, I do apologize. Alright, we're going to be doing before takeoff checklist. Let's go ahead and call for that.
Boost pumps on low. Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carb heat. Off and cold. Hydraulic system. Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20.
You can see flap lever indicator moving to 20.
Flaps set to 20. Windows and turbine. Closed and on. Controls. Dust lock released. Free. Detonator. On. Mixture and cowl flaps. Region locked. Set. Transponder. On. Landing lights. Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
Wonderful. Before takeoff checklist has been completed, we shall now take off.
30 inches stabilize. 30 inches stabilize. Stabilized. Cowl flaps. Cowl flaps. Cowl flaps set. Full power, please. Going full power. Full power set.
Took my eyes off the center line there to look at the engine gauges and proceeded to lose the center line just a bit.
Buzzer ring, gear up. Gear selected up. Gear up, lights up, lights up. Flaps going up.
PMDG 6 continue for north departure. Orlando Tower PMDG 6 continue for north departure.
Retail power. Setting meter power 48 inches, 2600 RPM.
Alright, so we're going to maximum non-takeoff operating power. 160 is climb speed for the bird. I will not be going high. So
meter power set. Climb power. Setting on power.
PMDG 6 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
let me see here if my controls should be working, but I don't know about what. There we go. He's
Power set. Don't take
Right.
checklist, please.
you can hear
After takeoff checks.
you can hear all the switches being flipped. Let me see. Okay, I don't have control of power.
PMDG 6, did you copy? Orlando Tower PMDG 6 frequency change.
Oh, there you go. Alright, now I got control of my power. 2,000 feet. Very nice. Just a nice flight around town. So yes, this is without a doubt the most beautiful flight deck rendering I have ever seen. It is perfect. It is absolutely gorgeous. And there's something to be said about that. You know, in engineering and whenever you're experiencing things in life, if something looks really good or works really well, it's typically uberly complicated and extremely difficult to execute. And I do believe that this fits the bill, yes, no doubt about it. This has to be an extremely difficult thing to accomplish. All in all, though, we're going to be doing some very exciting flights. Yeah, some of them will be a little bit summarized, you know, and do let me know if you're interested in some of that live flight stuff. Huh. Yeah, I noticed that. Some of the terrain was not looking too good. Microsoft has been having some bandwidth issues here in the recent past. And I reckon it's just because of the too many players online. And that has resulted in a lot of issues. Over the Thanksgiving break, I was trying to play into running lots of tests to make sure things are operating smoothly, for me to be creating the content, and I couldn't. I had to turn off live traffic. That was overwhelmed. And as we have just seen, some bandwidth issues there as well. It is not my internet, if you're wondering. I have supremely fast internet, so it is not, the limitation is not on my end. Alright, well, I do sincerely hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little first flight and impressions video of the PMDG DC-6 aircraft, which is without a doubt some of the most complicated and true-to-life aircraft for flight sim that I have ever had the pleasure of experiencing. And as an aviation nut, I was overjoyed at the opportunity of operating this aircraft. You know, I operate glass cockpit on the regular, and I have for a long time. So the steam gauges is in my background as well. Of course, I don't get to operate them anymore, but it is really nice to operate with the steam gauges. Unlike what you may believe, I do not know if you have experience with real live flight and operations, but steam gauges may look complicated, and they really do. They have an intimidating factor to them, as you have lots of gauges and needles. But they are, in fact, far simpler to operate than glass cockpit aircraft. The information provided to you is on the face of the dial. Once you have become accustomed to the range of the dial and what that needle pointing in that direction means, you can infer the information without even looking at it and truly become one with the aircraft to a very high degree, which is really nice. When you're looking at glass cockpit, that is not the case. Alright, let's try this.
Turbine. Normal.
See where we end up. We're going to try to land here.
Fuel tank selectors.
I believe maximum
Hydraulic bypass valve. Down. No smoking signs. On. In-range checks complete.
maximum flap extension speed of 173 knots. Aircraft of this size, I'm going to be doing my best to give myself some space. Yep. And appropriate distance to the runway there. Of course, as I struggle to get acquainted with all of my controls and shortcuts, never mind the altitude control, for it is impressively bad. So please don't mind me. Oh, I don't want to do that. There it is. Luckily, we're flying as fast as a snail, so that really helps.
Flaps 20. Setting flaps 20. 20 flaps set. Mistress Ridge, please. Auto Ridge. Mistress set. Gear up and down, please. Gear up and down.
Gear up and
Gear
down.
and locked. 3 rings. Props. 2500 RPM. 2500 RPM set. Cow flaps. Plus 3 degrees. Cow flaps set. ADI. ADI off. ADI is off. Landing lights. Speed good. Extending lights. Lights extended and on. Norby. Comment call. Send call. Before landing checks complete.
Alright, this, I do not know the approach speed and landing speed. So, if I'm a bit too slow here, which I may very well be, I do apologize, but coming in at about her rotation speed, and so that should be about right at the present time. And this will be my very first landing with you. A little low here. We're at 30 flap. Oh, we're 40 flaps. Okay, 40 flaps. I have to check the camera angle. It certainly doesn't look low off the window, but I am definitely showing low on the pappies. Though I feel I am aiming at my aiming markers. Maybe it's one of those aiming markers coming in. Good rate of descent. I'm not going to touch the brakes. This is a long runway. We'll wait a little bit here. Oh, I did program the reversers. Let me see if that works. I believe that did work. We're gonna keep it nice and boring here, just stopping all the runaway. Alright, yep, definitely not the prettiest of landings, because I gotta get that sight picture still in. Still gotta do a lot of programming here on my auto throttle quadrant, and all the buttons, and as long as you're mapping out your buttons, I notice that things tend to work out really well. But for an airplane as complicated as this, I do recommend, if you're using the Honeycomb Aeronautical, do create a profile for that aircraft. I noticed that it helps with performance quite a bit. Okay, that is it. Hope you've enjoyed this first flight.